Hi, I'm psychic medium Jeni Juranics, and I'm here at the Maison Doucet Hennessy House. We're going to see what energy I can pick up on, and if there's any spirit people here that have messages for us today. And when I connect with him, I'm like immediately aware of like the smell of him. So just kind of like dark, thicker kind of canvas. It's like a jacket, almost like
military uniform?
Well, yeah, no, it's not like this. No, I wouldn't say military uniform. I would say that it's more like farm related, you know, just being around the home.
Well, they certainly
yeah.
This could be any one of a number of generations.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because they continue to farm. I mean, this was a working farm.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that this land has been chiseled down to what it is now.
It has.
But he tells me that out there is where he spent most of his time. So you've mentioned the name Charles, and you said there were 3 Charles?
There's 3 Charles.
Because he's giving me that name. And he tells me that someone actually tried to come and take this house from him. He's telling me someone tried to take his family out of this home.
Oh, it's 1846.
Yes, he would have, yes. Because during that time, somebody tried to come and force them out.
Oh, I'm sure that they did.
Okay.
And there was a lot of machinations going on.
Okay.
During the period when the land grants were being divided up, they were squatters.
Yes.
Okay, they were squatters.
Okay.
And there was a sort of an untold, unwritten agreement that the British government was trying to settle this land with people, but there was a mix-up with the survey, and it took 17 years to straighten out. So in 1790, they all applied for land grants, and they were allowed to just start building.
I'm really afraid. He's telling me we were really afraid that we were going to be pushed out, and that someone was going to take over this home for almost like not for a home. I don't know if they wanted to turn it into.
Well, they were capitalists who were exploiting the land to sell for profit.
Yeah.
They did not want to sell it themselves.
It wasn't going to be.
No.
Yeah,
it
wasn't like we're going to move in. It
no.
was like we want you out so we can benefit from this, and it's not. I almost feel like there was a plan though for it to not. It was gonna. I don't want to say an office, but something like that where they wanted to use it as. Because he's telling me it's like a midpoint.
It was the crossroads. It was the crossroads. So this right here is the crossroads. It was called the road to Beresford. It was the Beresford High Road. Beresford Road, yes.
Okay.
And but then eventually became known as St. Anne Street. But this was the crossroads.
Okay.
And
so he's telling me it's like the midpoint, and they wanted this location because of that, because they were going to use it to kind of like monitor the comings and goings of the people, right? And so he was like, too bad. Essentially, he tells me he had to really fight, and I actually feel like there was a bit of violence around that as well. I don't want to say just that it was just arguing. I think that there was some violence that took place during that time. Not just really having to kind of guard the parameters of the property because somebody might try to force him out forcefully, you know? But yeah, he's just telling me it was centrally located, and so it's like a prime location throughout many years. So I really like him. He actually has a lot to say, and I feel like he could just be the one we talk to all day. But now I kind of feel like we're supposed to move on from this room. So let's see where. I'm just going to either ask him to show us where to go, or would you like a woman up there?
Yes, my sister sees her.
Yeah, she's up there. We're not going to talk to her yet. I'm going to ask her to hold on, because right here I hear horses. Here.
Yes, there were. Yeah.
This man we were talking to earlier wants all this to go away to the point where he can see. Now, would we see water that way?
No. There would have been a little creek down at the bottom.
Yes.
There was a little creek.
I know that there's something water important there. I know it's not the ocean.
They use it as a source.
Yes, for my horses, and I want to go that way. So when he looks here, he's just shocked at how little he can see from his time. But yeah, I do feel there's actually multiple barns at some point.
Probably would have been.
Because there's something there and there. It's almost like where these this shed in this house, these were barns. And I don't know, was there a road here, do you know?
Possibly.
I think there was a road here.
I would imagine if they would, because there was the way that this worked was a wide circular driveway.
Yeah.
The highway was, it was just a one-lane
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, just
so the
yes.
street, the yard went out into the middle of St. Peter Avenue. So they had,
Yes.
they had a long
Yes.
circular driveway with a long ring, and I would
Yeah.
imagine they also.
So something goes this way. Maybe not right exactly here. You know, I'm just kind of pulled to it because that's how it looks right
Yeah,
now.
I would imagine.
But I know there's barns, and I actually have. There's another man who worked with the animals or something, because he'd never lived in the house. He's telling me his house was actually out here. There must have been
There was a
a
family.
room in the barn or something, or in another structure.
There was a family that just lived down the in at the bottom of the hill, near the water.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and he had been injured, and his wife took care of him. He was never able to work. I'm not sure if he worked here, but
He's
we
also a short man.
My mother told me the story about him. My mother lived to be 105. She just died 2
Okay.
years ago.
Awesome.
And they gave him a shed that had
Yes.
been attached to this.
Is that where
brought
he
it down
lived?
there.
Is that where he
Yeah,
lived?
that's where he lived.
That's him then. Because he's telling me I didn't live in here,
Yeah.
but he just kind of walked up to say hello. And I know that he worked with the animals and he lived back here in
Yeah.
like a shed or something.
Yes, him and his wife.
Absolutely. Or like a riche.
Probably
I can't
Rousseau.
remember the name.
There's an R in there, but
Yeah.
I mean there's lots of R's and
Yeah.
lots of names. But yeah, he tells me that he says actually that he still has a family member that way.
Oh, likely.
Like today. So interesting to know. He says, I spend a lot of time down there with my family, but I still come around here to check on things. Because I think he would have been like a groundskeeper or someone who really, he feels, he's actually showing me that he has a gun much of the time. He kind of protects the parameters of the property. So I don't know if you know that.
There's a
about him.
story about a man. I just received the information from the lady 2 days ago. She claims that her great-great-grandfather, who was a blacksmith, was murdered. in
There's
there,
definitely some
in the shed, in the barn. But whether it's true or not, it could have been just an
there's
accident.
definitely murder on this property. 100%.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Obviously, there was a well right here.
Okay. Thank you. Because I just feel like
There was a well right here.
this is an important part of the functioning of the property over here, especially connected to water. And that woman is in this window now. She is connected to the upstairs, whatever. I wonder if she's a servant. Would the back half have been
Yes,
for
servants'
servants?
quarters, yeah.
Okay, because I believe she's a servant, and that's why she's up there.
She's probably upset by the mess in the room.
maybe she has that kind of seen and not heard kind of
She usually goes to every window upstairs.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find the servants are always the people that we think are ghosts, when really I think it's just their personality that they are a servant, and so that's like who they are, right? So we pick that up as like, ooh, a ghost, but she's just trying to respect us and see if there's anything we need. So I like her. I think that there's a structure missing from right here too. I don't know if it's storage. What is this structure? No, there's people coming. Okay, was this hill like this?
This was all gardens. It was all beautiful gardens. And my grandmother was amazing garden. And so there were beautiful gardens down here, front flowers. But right in here was like an enclosed balcony. Like a patio kind of
But
thing.
why are people coming? I'm being told that people came here for supplies.
Yeah.
I
I forgot
I'm
about
coming
that
to get
part.
food.
I
and you were
completely.
talking about
Oh my God! I completely
grain and
forgot
stuff.
about that. Okay.
People are coming here to
Yes.
pick up
Yes.
their supplies.
Okay, right here, and you'll see this down in the basement. There were the two large, those old style doors that open up,
Yes.
and then you walk down a set of steps, into the basement where they would put store all of their storage. They would
Yes.
have carrots and
Yes,
potatoes,
absolutely. And
pickles,
people are coming to pick up
pick up, and
like
then
a
they,
ration almost.
well, they would be selling. They
Yes,
they sold.
merchant. I keep hearing merchant.
Yeah, they sold.
Okay.
There were stores. They
Yeah.
sold their goods. They sold butter. They sold
Absolutely.
pigs,
Yes.
cows.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, milk. They made their own
Yeah.
soap and everything else. So this is in my mother's time in the 20s.
Okay.
So
So
before
could there
then,
have been a road right here or a path
highly
right here
likely.
to get to this?
highly likely
Because I'm being
it was around, as I mentioned.
yeah, it would make more sense
Yeah,
if they would
it
come
went
here.
all the way around.
But I
here.
do feel people coming from here for that.
Very
So,
likely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I know they had horses and wagons, which would come and get the milk, and they would deliver it. They delivered
Yes.
the milk
Okay.
and the butter. And
I hear all of the wagon sounds over there, absolutely. But some people have walked to come pick things up, and that's what I'm picking up specifically. And there's also a man here who's telling me, he just showed up. He's telling me that he used to guard this from thieves.
there was a lot of stealing.
There's a lot of people that just want to come in the night, and so I think he was like night shift. He's a really pudgy man, and yeah, I get an accent with him too, so he must have been French. And he tells me he wasn't here for very long. Actually, he says that he got ill and passed away. So I'm getting the kind of the time frame of what is this? What did you have? Some kind of virus. So he wasn't here long, but anyway, so I'm getting the sense of a lot of like guards and protection for this whole property, and many people involved in that. People who didn't live in the house. When I'm outside, I'm more aware of the people who protected the outside, which is cool. So,
It is interesting. I never even thought of it.
yeah, he's like, I just feel like he's just sitting here all night with a gun. Not, like it just feels, it feels like people wanted to break in.
Well, they definitely were thieves.
They were hungry.
Yeah. Yes, and in the 20s and the 30s that I'm aware of,
Yeah.
anyway, there were frequent, what they would consider, I suppose, vagrants, travelers.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what
that
we call
makes sense. They
gypsies.
wouldn't even be
Yeah.
living here, so they
Yeah.
wouldn't care.
Yeah, they would
because
come
they
in
would
on the
move
trains, and they would just go looking for places where they could, because the train station.
Okay, we have a Marie connected, but I'm actually hearing Mary.
Yeah.
I know that's a super common name, and it's almost embarrassing as a psychic to say the name Mary, but I do have a Mary in here right now.
You do.
Okay, that's the parlor. Is this a dining room?
This would be
I
their
got
day,
food.
what we call day sitting room.
Okay.
This would be the place, another dining room area, a living room area where a lot of things went on.
I feel food. In
Yes,
here.
and
Now,
there
I
was
know
a-
that this is a kitchen.
a lot of
right
parties,
now.
a lot-
Mary here is all about food. So I'm trying to figure out in what way, because this feels. I have a lot of smells in here. A lot of food smells.
Yes.
A lot of just warmth and. She wants me to go in here.
Okay.
I want to stay in here, but
No, let's go. Now, whether this was always a kitchen, I don't know.
no, I don't think.
I know that
Not in this way.
No.
But she's telling me that there was something here
Yes, right under here, right
to
here.
pull things.
The coal chute, the chute for wood to be dropped
Okay,
into
because
the
I'm
house.
just feeling things coming in
Yes,
right
right.
here.
It's right. I'd have to go in the basement. I'll show it to you when we're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there would have been like an opening for
Yes,
people to,
in
like,
fact,
outside they put
It's
wood
right
in.
underneath
Okay.
here. I always get mixed up. I can't situate myself. But you can see downstairs where the false wall is,
Yeah,
where they
okay.
blocked it up.
Okay. Yeah.
They put
This is an important part of the house.
Yes.
The functioning, right?
And in Acadian homes, they would have had one of those. Acadian homes, after they started building homes with basements, always had so we were told, had that place for bringing in
Okay.
the wood as opposed to the food, which came in through the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like food, but something's
Yeah.
coming in
Yes,
right here.
that's
and,
right
and
here,
this Mary, or it could, I don't want to say it's Marie, but I think it's Mary.
Well, Mary, you know, was married to an English man, an English-speaking man.
She feels English to me.
Yeah, she's the transformation point into an
Okay.
English sort of.
Yeah, I feel English with her, especially in this
But she's
area of
bilingual.
the house.
They're both bilingual. The
Okay.
husband and her and the kids.
Okay, I know she can speak English. I don't pick up the accent in the same way that I do with someone who is much more French. So yeah, I'm aware she could speak English. And, okay, she says, none of this. She's telling me none of this. I actually kind of wonder, so are we now in the second half?
No, we're still.
We're not in there yet.
We're still in the original home. So
Okay,
likely,
but this is not right. This is all strange to me too. This.
Yeah.
Something's new, changed. I mean, obviously not new, but.
I think likely the wall, the doors.
I'm actually getting that there was a fire right here.
A fire?
Like, not a fireplace, but
A fire.
an accident right here, long ago.
Well, the pipes were right here. Okay, so the heating
Oh.
pipes through here. So that's why
Okay.
we got a hole right there.
Because I've got the wall on fire.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like a long, long time ago. So I don't know how original this is. It doesn't feel like it's not catastrophic.
Could
obviously.
be 1850s. It could
Okay.
be before then.
Because I'm being told that there were candles on the walls.
Yes, there were gas lights. Yeah.
What, sconces?
Yeah.
Okay, something with one of those. Not the pipe. It was like, I don't know if there was one here and one here.
So
or
actual
something.
candles were wax.
Could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been that, or like you said, gas. I'm just seeing a light and it's kind of flickering. And something caught on fire.
This was the fine dining room. And they had all of their fancy, my mother said that there were lights, gas lights here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just gorgeous. She said this room was gorgeous.
Stunning. But
Only
something
for-
with one of those lights went wrong. There was a fire, like right here.
Isn't that interesting? Eh? Maybe we'll find evidence of it when they tear it down.
I actually do think that you'll find, I think there is something that can be found. I don't know if there's a story or something written. I think there could be a written story about that somewhere.
That the false alarm or the
Yeah,
fire department.
something
to come.
happened.
Oh, there
or-
wouldn't have.
what?
Did you see a boy sitting on the stairs?
Okay, well, I don't have the boy. I have a man with a cane. Oh, this man's old. There's a very old man up here. He was elderly when he passed. And he was here a long time. Maybe? I don't know what to call him, but when I come up here, I just see him here with his cane. And I'm very protective of whoever comes up here. So I don't know why he cares. I know he couldn't get a I don't want to talk over it.
Calling all the Catholics.
Yeah.
home. This is a very
This is-
Catholic
this is
home.
happen- yeah.
Very Catholic.
Yeah.
Very, very loose.
Okay, so this man is like, I feel like he just stands here with his cane and is like, who's down there? Even today. Like but back when he was alive, he did that.
That's funny.
So yeah, he's become quite frail. He's no longer able to, go down and help, and so I think that's his problem. I think he's upset about his age, and he's lost a lot of the ability to do the work that's needed around here. But he tells me he goes way back. Oh, he's well dressed though. I don't know again, money-wise, there had to have been money.
Oh, they were rich.
They were, like, these people are rich.
Yeah.
And up here, I feel this is not where many people don't get to come
No.
up here. This feels very private.
This is,
And I actually feel like up here is where we've really made it beautiful. Up here feels beautiful. Like, this is stunning to me. And last time I was here, I just saw like beautiful red, deep red wallpaper. I don't know if there would have been wallpaper, but it's just like, yes, exactly that. I was just gonna say it's like that damask, or I don't know what you call this.
yeah.
That's exactly the wallpaper. I don't know how I didn't see
That
it.
has to be the original wallpaper.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
has
And
to
it
be.
was stunning. Like, if you came, the woodwork and the wallpaper, this was stunning. Like, spotlessly beautiful. That's exactly the wallpaper I saw the other day. It's those shapes. When I come up here, that's what I see. And it just feels glorious. And this man, we were going so fast.
Give it a minute. The lady's on the other side of the house.
You feel her? Yeah, I'm not aware of her at the moment. I know this man is telling me this might have been his room or something, because I also feel like I want to stand here and monitor what's going on outside.
People say that they've seen that woman you saw, usually in this window when they drive by. She stands there and looks out the window.
She does.
People have asked me about that. I'm like,
Okay.
I always
There's
thought-
a
I always
man
thought
up
it
here
was
too
them.
doing that. This
Yeah.
old gentleman. He's like in his 90s. He's lived a long life, this man. And I think it's at the time when that was gorgeous with the wallpaper, like it's from that time. So that feels original. He comes, I'm trying to get a sense of when was that done like that in comparison to when he arrived here. That's what I want to know about this man, because I feel like he's been here from pretty much the beginning, but I do feel that that wallpaper and that hallway wouldn't have been the original way it was when it was built. I don't think it was decorated like that. Does that make sense? Okay. Because I feel that there's been progressions of building
Oh,
and
absolutely.
becoming more wealthy and, you know, up leveling. I think you said that earlier. So this man was here before that was done.
Settlers. They want people to
Yes,
build
to come
farms,
stay
have
and
children,
develop.
build a community.
Yes, exactly. Well, this man's part of that. The older gentleman up here. And so, do you know roughly the age of Charles II when he died?
Yep. Charles II died in 1846.
But how old was he when he was in
Yes,
his
he
90s?
was 1769 to 1846. So
So
it's
what's
like
that?
he's almost 80 years old.
Okay.
Second.
I'm perceiving this man to be a little bit older than that.
Well,
But
they had relatives too. See, he
yeah,
had brothers.
He's the father of.
Maybe the father of the wife.
Right.
The wife is an.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All I know is he's worn out. He's lived a long life. He was here pretty much from before that was decorated. Again, it's hard to know exact timelines, but things have really changed in his time here. And he makes me aware of. Yes, he's this. I don't think this was a bedroom though, was it?
Years it was a bedroom. It was also a place where people who were very ill were
I was
taken
just
care
gonna
of.
say.
They were
Because I
taken
see
care of in
ill
this room.
people in here, and that's what he kept showing me was he was connected up here, but then I think at the end of his life he was in here.
This was like the room where.
I kind of feel sickly, and I'm looking at the window and longing to be able to be
what
well
a,
and
what a
go.
view! You've
I
got
know.
the church in
Yes.
both directions,
Yeah,
and you can see the graveyard across the street.
yeah.
The beautiful at that time were all gorgeous homes and all the way down
Yeah.
unimpeded view. I see women standing here looking out the window at their loved ones being buried across the way in the cemetery. Because in those days, women did not go to the funerals.
Get out.
No, they did not, because they were busy preparing for the reception. They had to cook. So they'd be over here cooking while their loved one was being buried. Now maybe the wife would go over and the daughter, but all the other women. So I have this. I can feel it. I feel a woman standing here, looking. They're watching the burial scene.
Wow.
And Hilarion, who is the person
Yes.
who inherited, they were the second owners of the house, him and his wife Marie Haché,
Yes.
the daughter of Marie Doucet and Charles Doucet and his wife. Anyway, they're buried right there. I can see their grave right there.
There's the servant lady I think might be getting my attention.
Yeah, let's go through there.
The one that we see in the windows.
Yeah.
Because she tells me that she had a baby that she was not allowed to keep. Does that
That's why
happen?
she's not happy.
It could be that there's,
Of course, there was
I mean, if you're a servant,
one of the children's, one of
I
the
don't,
boys.
I don't think that it was a marriage.
Oh, it's entirely likely. We'd have to know the identity of the person and then trace the birth, and that
Exactly.
can be done. But
Okay.
if you don't, now censuses, we have censuses,
Okay.
so we know who was living in the house in 1851, who was living in the house in 1861,
Okay.
in 1871. But I mean, if they were in between those years,
Is there like a Charlotte?
possibly. Charlotte is an English name.
Okay. I wonder if that name is connected somehow, but if we can go through here.
Now, I'm sorry about the mess in here, but
Oh.
you'll just have
Who
to
cares?
bear with us. Everything, this is all
So are
house
we-
Halloween stuff.
Are we now in the second half?
Now, so likely this was this area would have been servants' quarters back in the day of the Doucets.
Yes. I feel servants' quarters back here. I feel that woman that people must be seeing, like you said. People are seeing her.
Sorry about the mess.
That's okay. And I think she has a love story to tell. I think that's why she's showing up all the time. Because I feel there's a love story connected to, I mean, it seems so cliche, right, with ghost stories, but it does feel like a love story and a baby connected in. Here we are looking at children's things.
This is my grandfather's.
This was your grandfather's?
I believe so.
And that's the Westenbergs.
Yeah.
They brought that
I mean, I
from
know
Europe.
these aren't the original things that she
Yeah.
would be talking
Yeah.
about, but it's interesting that we end up in here and then I suddenly am aware of her kind of love story. And I think, again, I don't believe in ghosts being stuck in a house and looking out the window and longing for their love to come back. I think that's nonsense, but I do feel that she does have a story like that connected to her. Originally, when this was first built, this I don't think was a bedroom. This had almost a kitchen feel in here. I know it's not, but it's almost like for the servants,
Yeah.
they had
This is
maybe
their
a
space.
sink or a kitchen,
Yeah.
or I just feel like counters and tables,
Yeah.
and then like you said, the stairs. And I feel in every single room it's like multiple people staying. Yeah, this is where multiple servants lived. I do feel that they are treated well.
I think they are too.
They're treated well. This doesn't feel like slavery, or
No.
it doesn't feel.
No.
I feel they are happy. They are well fed. They're happy to do their job, and so that feels good to me. And my head's. I just got a lot of pressure. Yeah, somebody's come up through here to meet this woman. The woman that you see in the window, someone has come through here to meet her, or secretly. It feels secret. It definitely feels like a love story that wasn't allowed to be, so
And she got pregnant.
she got pregnant, definitely.
And
Yeah.
you feel that she had to give the baby
I think
up?
she had to give the baby to another, maybe, yeah, the baby was raised by another family.
Yeah, that's
I don't
what.
know if I don't think the child stayed here. It was a little boy though. And I think that she was aware of where he did go. But I think, okay, who's this showing up? this is an elderly woman now. So perhaps connected to the man across the hall. I want to sit in here. I know there's a desk here, and I always have to ignore what I see. No, I'm just saying in the past, I want to sit in here and write a letter.
Ah. This was my grandfather's room.
Really?
Their bedroom, yeah.
I'm going further back, the time of the man with the cane.
Okay, that's your, so, okay.
I feel like I've got a beautiful desk, or there's something in here that makes me want to just sit and write a letter. And I feel, I remember earlier when I said I feel like there's money stored up here.
Yeah.
It would have been in here or something. There would have been, this is definitely a protected room of the house. It just has a lot of grief in there.
Yes, there was, yeah.
In here, though, doesn't feel that way. In here, I feel important. And I feel like I've got things organized. I know that woman is connected to it, but I do feel another man. And I don't think it's the bishop that you were just speaking of. This is a man who, in this room, he must be like...
Wouldn't Charles Doucet be here?
I think so. Like, I think this is his space. And I just feel... coins. I just keep getting coins.
Money.
A lot of money. And something almost as if this would be locked. Like, this door is locked. No one comes in here who is not approved. And so, yeah, this is a really important part of the house. Right here.
And that's all.
But in here, there was a letter written that was sent far, that I think we can still, we would have a copy today. It's sent out of Canada.
Oh, likely.
Where's it going? What wars do we have? This is connected to war.
I forgot about that. I keep on forgetting about
There's
these
a
things.
letter that you have?
Well, the Second World War is huge, and First World War as well. First World War. Well, Edmund McManus is the son. Well, he's just one, but of the sons of Marie.
No, wait a sec. Charles Doucet.
Yes.
War for him. War for one of those three.
Well, they would have survived the expulsion. They were.
All I know is something with right here. There's a letter being written. It's connected to war in some way, and it goes that way.
There are so many wars. Well, you know, on the other hand too, there's so you think it's 1800s?
I think but you're saying this room wasn't here then?
Well, not that I'm aware of. Now, it would have been the attic in 1812, because it was a one floor building with an attic with windows, and the roof was, and you can see the roof lines up in the attic. You can see the top of the roof. You can see the top of the attic.
So
or top of the roof.
World War I is when?
1914, 1918. So by that time, this place is fully. It looks like it does today. Yeah.
Okay.
And Edmund McManus is taken prisoner of war in Vimy Ridge in 1917.
And where's that in the
Vimy,
world?
in France.
Okay. All I know is
it's that direction.
it's this way that this letter is going.
Yeah.
It's connected to war. This room was here, so it can't be 1812 like you said.
And the Second World War, of course, is there's quite a lot going on here. And this Hennessy,
absolutely.
the Hennessy's are writing to each other prolifically.
There's
a lot going back and forth. In fact, I wrote a book about the letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody is trying to get a family member home here.
Oh.
There's someone who's far that direction out of Canada. I have someone writing a really important letter in here connected to war, and we want to bring someone here. There's a reason we're trying to I don't know what it is. I have to interrupt you. Sorry. The time of the gas sconces.
Yeah, it would have been pre-1900, 1911, around pre there, I would imagine. Well, no,
Okay.
my mother said that she remembers the gas lamps, so that would have been 1920s.
So at the time of this letter, the gas lamps are here.
Okay, so there were still gas lamps in the 20s.
Okay.
Now, so this must be before then. I don't know when they removed the gas lamps.
Yeah, this room, again, just stunning. Stunning in here. Beautiful furniture, armoires, desks, everything. Just everything in here was stunning, just like the hallway.
Can you tell me if there was anything that, an underlying theme or a message that for us today here in the 21st century, bridged 3 centuries, we're trying our best to preserve it. Do you think that they would appreciate that?
Absolutely. I feel, again, the sense of pride and love and hard work. The strongest feeling that I get in this home is determination, willpower, strength to keep going. And I just feel that's so inspiring that, you know, to think of how hard people had to work to keep this, to build this, to maintain this. Remember the hard work, remember the muscle. that's a very masculine energy comes to mind as I feel into that of hard work and labor. And I do get a sense of justice. There's a strong sense of doing what's right for our fellow humans is really important with this property. Doing what's right, protecting each other, looking after each other.
As a descendant of Hashes, how do you feel being in the house, and do you feel a connection to
Thrilled. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've always wanted to come in here my whole life, and I don't know why it's taken me this long, but it feels like the right time. And I do feel my ancestors have guided me here. So thank you so much for inviting me, because it does feel, it feels important. I feel very connected to the history here as well. Yeah.
Well, you'll have to come back when we have our renovations complete so you can see what we're planning to do with this house, which was, after all, built by a man who was called and known as one of the most respected Acadians in all of New Brunswick when he passed away in 1846, Charles Doucet. And that was what he was known for, being so respectful. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting that you made those comments about justice, because I do believe too that after everything that they had been through, that justice meant a lot to them.
Absolutely.
Equality. Yeah, and their children continued that into the future through their own lives. And here we are today.
Absolutely. I feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming here today. It was great to have you.
Yay.